Hello and welcome to the Tuesday Takeaway. My name is Tosh Britton.
Hi, I'm James Niven.
And I'm Stephen Walker.
Fantastic. So tonight we're going to be talking about ways to help you get through lockdown. So this is Hello Lockdown. I'm a single parent. And we're going to be sharing and talking to you this evening just some of the ways that we can make it a little bit easier. We can build that resilience, so we can use this as an opportunity to grow even stronger than we are as single parents, and to look at the positives, find those amazing chinks of light, and to really fully believe that we can get through this, even in those moments where we feel we can't. We haven't even got down to lockdown yet, and I can't find my son's birthday card, so I don't know what's going on with me at the moment. I'm not even any way prepared. You know that thing, and you go, oh, I'll tell you what, I'm going to put them somewhere really safe. And you get to the night before, and you're like, no.
You'll have to make one, Tosh.
Yeah, exactly. And a cake.
Do it.
I'm going to do it. I've got all night. I can do it. I can do this. I can do this. So, we all have a choice, right? One of my big things is we all have a choice as how we think, we act, and how we speak through tough times. And ultimately, this whole lockdown is going to be happening to all of us, and we just got to kind of, I don't know, just become aware of how we're feeling. What we're focusing on, whether it's good for us or not good for us, and how we talk to others as well. Do we remember to say hello to them? Do we remember to smile at people? Do we remember to ask them how they are, check in with them, and all this stuff? So number one, I just wanted to say, if nothing else, 2020 has taught us that we are probably stronger than we ever thought we were. Am I right? Would you say?
I'm definitely getting stronger. Yeah.
I need to get stronger.
There we go. Not quite the take I was thinking, but I love it that you surprise me always.
No, I agree. Yeah, definitely. Mentally, I'm tougher than I ever was. Definitely.
Yeah. And can I just ask you, does it help that everybody else is in the same boat? And it's because sometimes, it can feel like it's just you. Is it a comfort? Although, we obviously don't want everybody else in the same boat, but is it a comfort to know that there are others? It's not just you that's going through it, would you say?
Yeah, I think so. I think it might have been something that was mentioned in another episode that sometimes, like as a single parent, you might be sat in on a Saturday night thinking, oh, it's rubbish this, I've got nobody to go out with. And like you said, unfortunately, everyone is in that position. So it is a little bit of a comfort. Yeah.
I think it's sort of seeing the upsides in all of it, no matter how small they are or how random they are. It's actually kind of, we've got to find the upsides as well, rather than just focusing on the negatives about it. So first one, I just wanted to say, I'm going to kind of read through some of my notes because I wrote quite a lot down for this. And you're allowed to feel as you're feeling. And the one thing is, we are all different. We're kind of like each of us like a snowflake. And we all feel very differently depending on our life experiences as well. So just know that whatever you're feeling it's okay to feel as you're feeling, because you are this person that's come to this time and this lockdown and this year with all your experiences, and it's like you're not doing anything wrong. You're not a bad person for feeling as you're feeling. You might be feeling like you're a bad parent, but actually you're just getting through this time, and you haven't got a blueprint. None of us have a blueprint to do it. We didn't have it first time around. We certainly haven't got it second time around, with all the other stuff going on as well around the world. So just know that how you're feeling, it's just kind of part of you, and it's okay to feel as you're feeling. Yeah. To sort of, if you can, like, drop any feelings of shame, of not being good enough, to not, thinking that you're not strong enough to get through this. It's like we all have our moments depending on, what we've gone through. So that would be my first thing. If you are feeling like you're not good enough, get everything out of your head and onto paper. So really write how you're feeling down. And maybe this is like a really good opportunity, and I kind of talk about this a lot through these tips, is to kind of get yourself a notebook or just some sheets of paper and just write down how you're feeling on each day. Get it out of your head so you don't go to bed kind of thinking, ruminating about it and worrying about it. And sometimes when we kind of get everything down on a piece of paper, we can then just go and have a cup of tea, get yourself a cup of tea, have a little walk around the house or the garden, or take the dog for a walk, and then just come back, or put your kids to bed, and then just come back and just read what you've written, and then just kind of look at it and just think, is it really this bad? Or am I kind of, over catastrophizing? What is the reality? And everybody has different experiences. Everybody's got different worries. There's, worries about jobs, money, children, schools. I mean, there is so much health, family. Would you agree, or you?
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been weird lockdown because, as James knows and you know, I've been suffering from an ear infection, which keeps me up all night, and it really irritates James. I keep posting in the group, coming up with random ideas for the group. But I'm suffering with that, and then there's the psychological side of it, and then I'm also wondering, will I get better when I have this operation? Will I ever get the operation? I've been told I'm on a waiting list. So I've had all that going on, whereas James has only had to worry about his hair and.
Oh, you had your hair cut. You've had a bit of a
emergency Sunday haircut with my kids, because obviously lockdown is coming, and I didn't want to be I didn't want my hair to get long. It's very vain of me, but it was really funny. Just going off subject completely, really funny. When I left this barber, I think he's a Turkish guy. He gave me his card and said, "I come to your home in lockdown." It really made me laugh.
There we go. I love that. It's kind of entrepreneurial, isn't it? It's like nothing is going to stop me from doing what I've got to do. So
yeah.
You're not tempted to get some clippers and just do a bit of a sort of like a...
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not.
So thank you for sharing that. So number 2, I always kind of suggest that it's really good to have like 4, as many people as you can, but like if you've got 7, great. But if you've got 3 or 4 good buddies that you can call, and you book in on days of the week to speak to them, so they're all on rotation, you take it in turns to speak to each other, so you're not sort of talking to the same person all the time, and if you're really stressed, sort of dumping on them, or and get a sort of list of people together that you can phone about. Maybe you've got a mate who's really, who has kids the same age as you and might be experiencing the same problems. So they might be somebody you could talk to about children, and kind of get organized. So they talk about like weaving, like getting your parachute together. So you can kind of, it sort of makes the landing a little gentler rather than too tough. So I suggest like you get, group of friends together, and you take it in turns, to phone each other, so you don't feel like you're always the one that's doing the phoning, and get organized. So get it in your diary, and and I think
that's going wrong then, isn't it?
Phoning me.
I'm phoning James every day instead of these other people.
Yeah.
You gotta phone me.
So I've got all Steve's worries on my shoulders as well as my own.
You look like you got broad shoulders, so
yeah, got the getting like this.
So and the one thing I was just going to say as well is it's kind of an opportunity, and this might be a bit, I don't know how this one is going to land, but if you have a co-parent and they might not be able to see the kids as much, or it could be an opportunity for you both to kind of go, let's have a go at doing this through COVID. Let's, get a bit more organized with WhatsApps or FaceTime or Zoom or Skype or whatever it is. And maybe just go, actually, we're all in lockdown again. How about we try and work something out for the kids and use it as an opportunity to improve your co-parenting together? And, if it's been bad before, you know what? Whatever's happening in the world is happening, but we all got to do things differently. And if it means you can be the bigger person and go, do you know what, I really want to get our co-parenting better, I want the kids to speak to you more, can we work something out and use it as an opportunity? Yeah, whilst everybody's in the same boat, we might as well try and improve communication if it's been difficult. And obviously there are times when actually, families where it's not. But if there is that slight percentage that it could turn and improve it, maybe this is the opportunity to do that.
Yeah, I did that, definitely. Yeah, she's had more contact with my kids than ever.
And just be the bigger person, it's for your kids. And if you can, I kind of talk about letting go of things, and if there are some small things that irritate you about your ex and you're like, actually, do you know what, I'm just going to let this go, and it's about the kids, helping them through this time as well. Yeah. Okay, if any of you want to jump in, you can. The other thing I was going to say is most of you, if you're not, are on our online group, which is great, which is obviously Single Parents United. So do, and lots of other groups as well, but this one is the Single Parents United. So reach out, and if you're watching this video on YouTube and you're a little bit unsure about how it's going to be when you press, click on the, join button, just know that there are lots and lots of people that have been in your place going, shall I join a group? Shall I not join a group? Am I going to be judged? Am I, what are they going to think of me? And if you need to lurk, just stay in the background, but join it. So at least you feel you can read there are other people going through what you're going through. And in groups they're not boys.
Yeah, definitely. There's lots and lots of people in the same position. And it's, with, like you said, the group is really, really supportive, and we're going to try and do a few online things to try and connect people. And Steve has already done one, which went down well. Just for that, seeing people. I know it's not the same on a screen, but we're trying to make the best of this situation. And
we did one last night from 9 o'clock, and it finished at midnight. And the women said that it was like being on a night out. They'd not talk to anybody for that long in ages.
That's lovely.
Yeah. You didn't do any of the dodgy dad dancing, did you?
I didn't. No. I just hosted it and let these women chat about how great me and you are, mate.
That was like the first 5 minutes, yeah.
No, it did. It really worked well. What I did was I got them to talk about the half-term week, so we could go around everybody in the Zoom and what the positives or what the negatives were, and anything they wanted to share. And if they didn't want to share, that was fine. They could just listen, and that seemed to work. And then when we did that, we just started talking about themes in parenting and how we're getting on. And I mean, to last 3 hours and some of them had never met each other before.
Oh,
brilliant.
But yeah. Cool.
So that is a perfect example as why it's really, take that step, to reach out, have the courage, and click join to groups as well. So, and just even, it sounds like just being heard is really powerful. Somebody just listening to you that's not your child or your teenager who really doesn't want to listen to you probably most of the time anyway. Okay, so and I was just going to say, be childish, have some fun. If you're locked down with your kids and they're kind of driving out the wall and you don't feel like you've got any laughter in your life, take it in turns to like tickle your feet, time yourselves, who can last longest, be childlike, have some fun, get your kids to get the makeup out if you've got makeup in the house. I don't know if you have, guys. And you know, get your kids to make you up. Do you know, have some fun. We've just had Halloween. If you've got face paints, just be childish, yeah. So if it's pouring with rain and you're thinking, oh, I don't want to go out because it's raining, go out and get wet, go and get muddy, go and just, you know, got pretty much whatever else to do other than just kind of doing some washing as well, extra washing, which okay can be a pain, but go and get muddy and laugh at just being muddy and just, yeah, go back to being a child and just let it go. If we get muddy or wet or whatever, you go out in pouring rain, go and jump in puddles, go and do old style stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really important. It's good advice. I think I need to take that advice, Tosh, because I was chatting. I went to kind of a men's group the other day and was chatting about things like this. And I was saying that sometimes as a parent, I find that kind of thing really difficult. When you said about not having any laughter, I find it really hard to be fun and upbeat and getting motivated to be that fun parent. Quite a lot of the time, it's weird. Weird feeling.
I think we just get out the practice.
Yeah.
Out of practice, and it's just like, that's what I was thinking. What makes me laugh? And like my kids tickling my feet, and you know, children, it's good for them to see that you can laugh as well, and you can be goofy, and you can just muck around, and you know, you can be childlike with them. And I think even they're going to be picking up on like the stress of single parenting as well, and to actually see their parents even just laugh for 5-10 minutes a day, that's probably got to be medicine, hasn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm going to try it this weekend, definitely.
I think you forget though, James. You're a bit hard on yourself. You've changed jobs, which has been massive, adapting to a new job. So.
Yeah, it's true. It's no excuse really, though, is there, to be not being fun with your kids? I don't know.
Just, I would try not to beat yourself up as well. Yeah. I mean, as you know, Steve said, but just kind of just say, do you know what? You know, or just maybe what you can do is, if you know, your kids are old enough to have this conversation, just say, what do you want to do like that is going to make us all laugh, and get your kids to give you suggestions, and just go, you know, okay, my suggestion is I'm going to time you to see how long I can tickle your left foot or whatever you want to do, or, you know, go and have a mud fight. I mean,
we like
sling mud at each other for.
We like doing accents, taking the mick out of different people's voices.
Yeah. Can you do me?
I can only do Eddie Murphy.
You can't do that very well.
I can. Everybody likes my version.
Do it.
McDonald's hamburger. We want McDonald's.
Who's that again?
Eddie Murphy in his stand-up.
Oh, no.
I don't want no greasy hamburger, house burger. I want McDonald's.
There we go. I can do Gollum, but that's it.
Go on then.
It's good. Yeah, come on, do it.
Okay.
Hello, my precious.
It's really good.
I know. If I want to freak somebody out, just turn the light off and I go,
hello, can I help you?
What were those funny little things back in the 80s? And if they got watered or sunlight, gremlins.
Oh yeah.
I do my gremlin voice, so there we go. I'm showing that on YouTube.
What about you, James? What have you got on?
I could just apparently look like various celebrities and sound like various celebrities according to our group. Joe Swash, Gary Barlow. That's
you don't want anything Gary like Barlow. Gary Barlow.
I'm not saying I do that. People have said it's going to sound like Gary Barlow, sound like him, and look like Joe Swash.
You don't sound like him.
I'm not saying I do.
You don't speak slow enough. He speaks slow.
I'm just going off what the members say, mate. You know. I'll take it on. Gary Barlow.
Okay. That'll do.
It'll do for me.
Well, sing shouting out to my ex. You're good at that.
No.
That's something, Tosh, just for the record, that James made me do. He took me to see Little Mix with about 3 million teenage girls dancing around them.
Fantastic.
Best night ever.
I was going to say.
This was recently.
What are you complaining about? Make it sound like a bad thing.
If you had fun, that's all that matters.
He loved it. He loved it.
Yeah,
He
loved
absolutely
it.
loved it.
Oh,
He did.
I know, it feels weird, doesn't it, thinking about live music?
Yeah.
So, yeah. So, which brings me on to, right, and you might, right, there's a thing called pleasurable and mastery activities, right? So pleasure, I know, when I was thinking, oh my God, where's this going to go? So
write this one down, Tosh, hang on.
So pleasurable activities, right? And like you want to take whatever's in your head out now. Well, you might not want to actually, but it's all about things that help you feel better. So it's like self-care, like giving you a cheeky little stroke, all of that. It's about, I don't know, whatever works for you, like having a bath, reading a book, having, a glass of wine, whatever is your thing, yeah, that helps you feel more relaxed. And we could run with this, but we're not going to. I'm going to leave it with you to write your little list of pleasurable activities. And on the other side, you have things like mastery activities. So mastery activities are, got a month, we're all in lockdown. What can you do that are jobs that are going to actually make a difference to your life? So for me, it would be emptying my inbox of all the stuff I don't need anymore and going through all my, my emails and just getting rid of them all and like freeing up some space, going through photos. Yeah. Use it as a time to do those activities that actually make you feel good at the end of doing them. But there is a little resistance, mind monkeys going, oh no, don't do it, leave it, leave it, leave it. Just kind of overrule them and just go, like we haven't had them for a while. There we go. Got to have a naming ceremony as well because we actually.
Yours, Steve? Is it Basil or Kevin?
Basil, isn't it? Is it Basil?
No, I'm asking you.
It could be Basil.
What do you want? Basil.
All right.
So we haven't had the mind. We haven't had the mind monkeys for a while. So just notice if the mind monkeys are going, oh, I'll do it next week. So that sort of becomes procrastination. And then we feel bad and we beat ourselves up because we're saying we're going to do stuff and then we don't do stuff. Yeah. So the mastery activities are things like, could be just cleaning out the cupboard, going through your kids' clothes, just doing jobs that you kind of need to do that will make you feel really good about it at the end of it.
I think me and Steve are really bad for not doing things like that, like housework and stuff. We've mentioned it before, but it, like you said, it does give you a real sense of achievement, doesn't it? Just this weekend, I was child-free and had a bit of a lazy day on Sunday, but then I hoovered, sorted the washing out, all the washing had been piling up, the clean washing, put all that away. And then to stand here with a clean lounge and kitchen, it actually did make me feel surprisingly good. So it does work, stuff like that. It
does, and if it helps you as well, then, makes living better. And actually, it's not that everybody's got to become like super cleaners over lockdown, but just to do those jobs that, as you said, James, it was kind of good to look at it and go, wow, it feels good, And also, if you're all stuck at home a lot of the time, I kind of talk about this a little bit, but everything gets a little bit clogged up and, and you feel like you've got to open the windows and let some fresh air in. Yeah. And it's the same as cleaning as well. If you give everything a clean, it just feels a bit better. It feels a bit lighter. And you, what?
Cleaning, and we don't know what it is, do we?
I feel a little challenge coming on here.
Yeah. I noticed on one of your videos, Steve, though, that your hallway is actually clear now.
It is, pal, yeah.
Amazing.
It's all in here.
Brilliant.
I just move stuff from one room to the next.
Yeah, so that's the other thing. You just got to focus on one thing at one corner at a time and just do that. And don't make the jobs too big. Like, I'm going to sort out this whole room in one day. Just do one thing at a time. And then you can kind of it's manageable and it gets done. And you go, actually, I did manage to do it, rather than getting halfway through sorting out a whole room and it looks a complete bomb site. And then you're going, and then you're feeling deflated, because what we want to try and do in the next month is try and reduce all those feelings of not being good enough, that stuff that wears us down, because we need to stay strong and do as much as we can to support ourselves going forward. So that is the pleasurable and mastery. I mentioned going outside and just getting your body moving. Yeah. So we're all stuck inside, actually just, and Joe Wicks, I think last time on YouTube did this, maybe we want a hashtag on it, and really getting your body moving, whether you're outside, whether you're cycling, walking, and don't just do the same loop that you always do. Try different, we've all got maps on our phones, everything, just try a different way round, like, walking around the park a different way, maybe, walking somewhere so you can look at different buildings maybe, or noticing different things. If you've got small kids, I Spy is a great game for noticing all sorts of different stuff. Yeah, so we're not just sort of going through like the walk on autopilot and just doing the same old walk, so it becomes boring, because we know the kids have gone, what walk are we going to go on today? And I remember I used to go, I'm going to do this one. They go, it's so boring. Take them on a different walk that they're
Yeah.
So that would be my my other hack. How are we doing? Okay, so lockdown monkeys. If you have never tried deep breathing and breathing properly and really learning to get yourself feeling a little bit calmer, if you're feeling like you're living in your head with the mind monkeys, you've got Basil and Kevin in your head, mixing it up, kicking it up, over catastrophizing, looking at the news, all this stuff, you're going to feel like it's just going to feel harder. So one of my big and really simple tips is this stop, and I might have mentioned it before, but it's stop, take a breath, observe and proceed. And I'd really suggest that you try and do this. So when you feel anxiety rising or worries rising, or you're feeling just a bit stressed because you caught something on the news, or a parent or somebody's phoned you and they're upset, and you're feeling like we start breathing into the top third of our chest. So really try and take those deep breaths down into your belly. Really, if you've got kids, lie on the floor and do it. And so you put a toy on your belly, or the kids can put a toy on their belly, and they can just breathe in so the toy goes up and down. Yeah, so then the kids know they're doing it properly. Or if you're an adult and you want to put your phone on your belly, or teenagers, if you can get them to, part of that is just to put their phone on the belly and to breathe in and out. And so they're watching it. And so they're actually taking their mind off their thoughts by watching the toy or the phone or whatever going up and down their bellies. Yeah. And it's called belly breathing. And belly breathing triggers your body's natural relaxation response. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds
So,
good.
Yeah, cool.
or if you don't want to, you just put
Remember
your hands
that,
up.
James?
Yeah.
What stop stand for?
Oh,
No.
Stop. Take a breath.
Take a breath.
Observe.
Observe.
Hey! Hey!
oh, well done. Brilliant. Brilliant. So that's that. But take that lovely couple of deep breaths really down to your belly. When you're observing how you're feeling, can you drink more water? Can you eat something? If you're, do you need to have a little rest? Do you need to get outside? You're feeling like, you're stuck inside. And a lot of this stuff, I remember my grandparents like saying things like, take some deep breaths, or get outside and get some fresh air. They had all this stuff just automatically as like they used to,
my mum says it all the time. It's like when I was isolated, obviously I couldn't go out anywhere, and they came round to drop something off at a social distance just on the steps, and she's like, you need to get some fresh air in that flat. Leave your door open or open your window. And she was like obsessed with it. That's one of her things that she says all the time. But sometimes you think, flipping heck, mum, shut up. But she's actually, like you say, it's right, isn't it? It does help. Simple things like that, they really do help, don't they?
I remember James following that advice a couple of years ago, and his youngest son just trying to get out of the house halfway down the steps.
Oh, I left the door open. Yeah. Anyway.
I can remember. I don't know if my parents.
Yeah, but the steps, Tosh, are like steel steps up to a flat, like a fire escape. So you can imagine a toddler walking down them because James has took advice off his mum.
Anyway,
That's scary.
moving on.
Moving on. I was going to say, so back in the day, my parents, so it was in their late 60s, and I was about 2 years old. I actually felt my dad had been to the pub with his friend, and they were driving up this road, and they'd taken me to the pub, so the mums were cooking lunch or something. I was about 2, and suddenly all these people waved them down in the car, and they said, "Your baby's fallen out of the car." And I'd managed to get out the car, wind the window down, and get out, because it was obviously back in the day before car seats and everything were, mandatory, and before, like drink driving was a thing. And they'd had a couple of pints, and they were like, "Actually, your child's in the gutter." So
climbed out of a moving vehicle.
And it was very slow. It was very slow. It was a very steep hill, but they were, yeah.
Wow. I've never heard anything like that before.
It's kind of one of those stories that makes your parents just go, "Oh my God, I can't believe you remember that. Why do you remember that?"
Wasn't like Dukes of Hazzard style, was it? Where they slide out through the window. Wow.
I know. Well, yeah, I wish. But anyway, so yeah. Parents, we all have our stories. So yeah, so mind monkeys. So taking that breath, kind of really noticing. One thing I thought about as well was actually, and I spoke to a little boy walking to school the other day because he was worried about going to school. And I was like, you do know that you going to school at this time is going to be taught in history books in the future to future generations, yeah? So, and he went, "Oh my God." And I went, "Yeah, people are going to be reading about you guys in school in this time." And then I thought, well, why don't you, like a family, you do like a history capsule? So you write all your things that you do together, all these different things you did, and put them in a jar or something, or whatever you want to create. Or I don't know if maybe that's a business opportunity for somebody to create a 220 capsule. And just kind of, or just write a diary, like a family diary that you can tell your children and your grandchildren. It can be passed down about this incredible time when the world kind of went inside, and sort of sharing experiences as well. And maybe, get the kids to draw the stories. How did the children feel going to school now as before lockdown? Really get them to, what do they worry about? What's the good stuff? What's the bad stuff? And sort of create a bit of a sort of history profile. So make it like a project.
Yeah, it's funny you should say that, because me and my eldest had exactly the same conversation after swimming today. I was saying to him, you learn about World War II and everything in history and all that kind of stuff. I said, in years to come, when you have children, I said, they're going to be learning about coronavirus in 2020, and we're living it.
Yeah. Totally.
It was really funny when he left the swimming baths tonight, because it was the last lesson. He said to the teachers, "See you in 2022." And the teacher said to him, because obviously we might not go back to swimming until next year. The teacher said, "What about 2021?" And he just went, "We don't talk about it."
How old is he again? 10. Which one was it? 10. Oh, I love that. Out of the mouths of babes. See, all this stuff you can write down and like put it together as your your family history capsule at this time.
I like that idea. It's good.
And then it's a project for the kids to get involved. So it's, and like, what do we learn to cook? What do we do? What do we kind of make it a big kind of like a life project?
Steve, what did you learn to cook? Steve learned how fast he can get to McDonald's in Darwin and get back to feed the kids. That's how he learned.
I learned about McDonald's doing deliveries for first
Oh yeah, deliveries. Yeah, that's it.
Did they? Oh my God. So that is something I would suggest. The other thing I was going to say is, I think I've maybe mentioned this before, is creating a worry pot. So create a family worry pot. And we used to have, I was trying to find one, we used to have like this worry turtle, and the kids had made like a turtle and a lid onto a clay pot, and they painted it. But you could almost make your own as a family activity or like children's activity, and get some clay off the internet and just sort of make a like a pot or something. And what we used to do, we all kind of made a decision that, and we used to do this when we first separated, and the kids had a worry, and we go, right, if you've got a worry, write it on a piece of paper. So it's good to write it down, and then we're going to put it in the worry turtle. And then we're going to check at the end of every day, like after supper or before supper or whatever, if you're eating. And we're just going to have a little check in the pot to see if anybody's put a worry in. And we kind of obviously, who the worry is going to be from the handwriting. And somebody go, oh, there's something in the worry pot. And they put it in there 5 minutes ago. And then you'd all sit down, you'd take it in turns of actually each member of the family adding something of value or supporting that person that had a worry, no matter how old they were. So the kids learned to support each other and give helpful advice as well. So everybody felt like it was like a team effort to sort out this worry. And have I explained it? Okay.
Yeah, I was going to pick up on that. I don't think we covered it, but you covered it, Tosh, in one of your other Zooms about, the children's feelings on the refrigerator. Do you want to?
Yeah, and that's on my list as well. So I'm going, no. So yeah, thank you though. It's so the worry was really good, and and I used to write one in as well, saying, oh my God, I'm really worried that you guys might be worried, and they go, oh no, well we are worried, but this, and then it would open up the conversation for them to say why they were worried, or they might say, actually, we're worried about you, mummy, you're right, or you kind of, or daddy, whatever, and actually creating a space that they know is the time that they can talk about their worries gives everybody permission in the family to know that that's okay.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah. Okay, so the other one I was going to say is got quite a few of these. I might continue on with them next week maybe, and like carry on with it a few. So
yeah, James won't remember that many.
Before we move on, Tosh, can you just explain to people who don't live down south, what time would you eat supper? What is supper to you? Because it's not really a northern thing.
Tea,
yeah, see. It's not
tea,
really
okay.
Not really a northern thing, this supper,
Is it not? Okay, so tea.
Tea time, you mean?
Tea, because dinner's at lunchtime.
Yeah, because supper, well, if you were going to have supper in the north, it'd be just before you go to bed.
Oh, would it?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, it would, yeah. Yeah.
We had the last supper years years ago. We're finished.
Just to clear that up. That's all.
Oh my God, I didn't know about that. I thought that was like the same. I know there's like tea is like 5, 6 o'clock or something, or that's the evening meal or whatever.
You call that supper.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all.
Supper? Yeah. It's like, yeah, I guess so. Yeah. So anyway, clearing that up for anybody who's north and south, we now know what it all is. Even though I got a Yorkshireman as a dad, so
yeah.
I don't know if that's a good thing, a bad thing, but I love him. So, and he's yeah. So yeah, that's that one. So what also I wanted to mention, okay, so we're going to finish off with so I want you to write these letters down. It's HAILT and write them down as it's kind of halt with an I in there. And H is for hungry, A is for angry, I is for ill, L is for lonely, and T is for tired. And if you put it on an A4 piece of paper somewhere in your home where everybody can see it, and you go, right, if anybody's feeling a bit like this, can you just come and point out what you're feeling? And then we all know what you're feeling. Because so often, like, we can kind of go, oh, actually, I don't know why I'm feeling really grumpy. And actually, you can kind of look at the list and go, actually, maybe it's because I'm hungry and I'm hangry instead. Yeah. And the more we encourage children and ourselves as well to talk about how we're feeling rather than just carrying around and just kind of everybody else, especially if you're inside walking around on eggshells, then at least you can open up a conversation. And somebody could just say, actually, I'm just really, really tired. Like you as a parent could go, this is mummy today, or mum or dad, whatever. I'm feeling really tired. And then it just kind of helps everybody talk to each other about how they're feeling. And that's, as we all know, is a really important thing if we're all stuck inside. So
yeah, definitely. Yeah. What if you're feeling all of them at the same time?
you probably ought to go. Just go and lock yourself in your bedroom and just like, okay.
That
And
sounds
go and do something pleasurable, something or mastery activity or whatever you want to call it. Whatever works.
Yeah.
So yeah, those would be some of my tips. I've got a couple of others as well, but actually, I just really want to finish on one. Is if you're finding yourself watching a lot of news at the moment, because everything is really kind of kicking off, especially now, and you're feeling like it is just too much, and you're feeling quite a bit depressed afterwards, you're just feeling really heavy, really worn down, just stop watching the news for a couple of days. That your world is not going to implode because you're not watching the news.
Yeah, I stopped watching it ages ago for that reason.
Yeah, and it just, somebody phoned me up today and they went, "Oh, have you heard of that massive terrorist thing happening in Vienna?" And I'm not sure it was as big as I heard it was this morning. And yeah.
My advice, guys, is if you're going to go on social media or try and read any news, visit Tosh Britain. She'll always have something inspiring to make you feel good about yourself.
Thank you. Well,
no,
this morning,
it's true. When I look at what you've got on there, I think, yeah, I feel all right now.
Oh, that's really nice.
I know, James is doing your meditation, and I'm reading your stuff. So.
Oh, thank you, and thank you for reposting it as well. I really appreciate that. It's just been a bit of a. But I just thought, actually, what I can do is, knowing that I know how to manage my mental well-being as well as I can, that when you're in that position, and if any of you are out there watching this as well in this position, and you can just post something that is really positive, and I know both of you guys do it on the group as well, but it just is like when you actually put something out there and somebody says, "Wow, that made a difference to me," it kind of increases your feelings of feeling good and positive as well. So if I was going to say, if you're speaking to friends and you've got a good tip or something you heard about that can help somebody else, pass it on. Yeah. Just be aware that you can also help people and that other people need help.
And on that note, really good film, and you'll know it, Tosh. James, you've probably forgotten it. It's called Pay It Forward. Do you remember it, the film?
I do.
Yeah, and that's what we need to be doing in COVID.
Yeah,
so
I agree.
Pay It Forward is basically doing something to help somebody else, and then it's like a cycle. So I'll pay something forward to James. He may forget and not pay it forward, but you'd hope that he'd pay it forward to Tosh, and then Tosh will pay it forward to someone else. So try and do it with somebody who hasn't got James's memory.
A friend of mine always used to buy a bunch of flowers occasionally, or like even if it was just a cheap bunch of flowers, and she'd go around and she would randomly put flowers on under people's windscreen, a flower under somebody's windscreen wiper. And she never hung around to see what it was like, what happened. But I can only imagine. I remember she put one onto me. I remember going, "Oh my goodness me, isn't this lovely?" And it's just, I don't know, or even just smiling at somebody and asking how they are. Now going back to your group thing about people being heard and acknowledged. And I think that's really important throughout this time.
Definitely. Yeah. Some really good advice there, Tosh. Thank you very much for sharing the tips with us.
That's your Tuesday takeaway.
Yeah, lots to take away. From there. So don't forget to subscribe if you want, guys, here on YouTube, and check us out on single.parents.united on Instagram and Single Parents United on Facebook. Bye for now.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.